Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my new video where we are going to go over the top 5 tips that I think every single Irelia player needs to know. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is LowFit. I do educational content, I do tip videos, do guide videos, and I do streams as well. Speaking of streams, I am going to be switching over to Twitch. I hope you guys follow me over there. I'm going to put a link in the description. Just kind of a long story, just to summarize it real quick, I've been hit by a bunch of demonetizations or whatever on my streams. People just claiming easy money just because I have like little clips of music that I'm pulling from the audio library that is already non-copyrighted music. But people are just very they're just really trying to make a quick buck whenever they can. So I would really appreciate it if you would follow me over on Twitch, and yeah, hopefully that will be a better platform for streaming, because it just gets kind of an annoying. I'm not even making too much money on these streams, like 50 cents or something, but every single one gets claimed, and it gets so annoying. I don't want to get this channel struck down just because I do a couple streams. So if you have any questions, you can follow me over there, and I will hopefully answer them live for you. Now, with all that shit out of the way, if you're curious about my experience, I'm a low diamond player, but I really specialize in helping out low elo players that are looking to climb. I've probably helped over 40 or 50 people get out of just really shitty low elos like bronze, silver, gold, iron. So if you want to do that, I'm also going to put a link to my Discord in the description. If you want some live answers there, I can help you out there. Alright, sorry for the rant fit, but let's jump right into Irelia. I think she's in a decent spot right now. She has eaten a couple nerfs, but I think that she is still a rather strong champion. So let's jump into number 1. Alright, and getting into number 1, I want to talk about the builds with Irelia, because I think this is extremely important here. Let's just go ahead and just sell all this, but this is going to be about your early game build, which is going to be extremely important when you are looking to team fights. Now, the classic build is to just go Tiamat into Triforce for that lovely power spike, where you're just able to do a crap ton of damage with the on hit of the Trinity proc, and then the just being able to Tiamat and clear out waves really quickly. It's just good for split pushing, good for team fighting. But one thing that I really want you guys to keep in mind, if you are up against a AP matchup that is starting to bully you a lot, you can't get through the lane phase. A great example of this is Rumble. I really want you guys to look into building either the components to Wit's End, which would be a Negatron Cloak, or completely finishing up before going into Triforce. This is extremely important to help you get out of kind of the lull that you have when you are in the early game with Irelia, and you're just getting constantly bullied out, and it just gets really frustrating. I want you guys to keep in mind that there are more defensive builds, but if you're able to get some all-ins, get some kills, you don't really have to get the defensive Negatron Cloak. This is just for people that are in really rough matchups. Maybe you're playing in the mid lane and you're getting bullied out by an AP user. Try out going the Negatron Cloak. It can be very strong and just give you a lot of resistances, and be able to just be that little bit of difference to kind of put you over the top in the 1v1s. If you guys have any other like small tricks, tips, I love to see when people add their own stuff for Irelia. Please comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Alright, and jumping into tip 2. Now, this is going to be more for the people that are just trying to pick up Irelia, or maybe they're like kind of a second or third pick Irelia in certain matchups. They're not really a one trick. You probably will not know this, but Irelia has a extremely good auto attack range for a melee champion. It is one of the highest unmodified auto attack ranges for a melee champion. Let's get the numbers here. It is at 200 range. If you want to just kind of get an idea of what some other auto attack ranges, there are 3 pretty big categories. One being the 200 range, where it's mostly people with just things like Crippling Strike on Darius or Netherblade on Kassadin extends the range to just the basics thing that you have on Irelia. And then there's a lot of 175 champs like Wukong, Xin Zhao, Yasuo, Yorick, Zac. And then there is a huge group of melee champions at 125 range, and that would be Akali, Alistar, Amumu, Blitzcrank, Braum, Camille, Cho'Gath, Dr. Mundo, Echo, Elise, Evelyn, Gangplank, Gragas, Irelia, Ivern, and we are just in the eyes, ladies and gentlemen. So it goes so far down. There are so many people that just have a very small auto attack range. So what does this mean to you as an Irelia player? This means you are able to get auto attacks off before they are able to get auto attacks off. So you should be looking to maximize them in your trades when you are, maybe you take an E-trade and you go in and you get the Q proc, and you just want to kind of end the trade. Always look to abuse your auto attack range, similar to how I want you guys to picture it is how Caitlyn can auto attack people and kind of get away from it and not get auto attacked back just because of the superior range. So always look to just do a quick auto attack and back, and they will most likely look for the auto attack back on you, but they do not have the idea that you have such a superior auto attack range than them. So really look to take advantage of this. I know it's going to be a little bit micro intensive, but just get a really good understanding of this circle when you press A and how far you can auto attack. I mean, it's almost as close to what you get on something like Urgot. So just keep this in mind when you're looking to fight. And if you have any questions about this, please hit me up down below. All right, and tip number 3. This has happened to me before I started playing Irelia a little bit more and started playing against her a lot. I got absolutely crushed by this one Irelia player where what he was doing was that he would proc the first E, and then he would come up to me and he would just auto attack me when I was looking to dodge and dodge his E. And what this did is it gave him kind of a zone of effect where he was able to just really guarantee a lot of free autos on me while I was looking to dodge, because I was waiting for the second part of his E to come down. So wait until the end of your E cast. There's a little bit of a line, and do it later in it and see how many times they're just going to walk back into your autos, because a lot of the times people are going to be like, oh, this guy's just going to throw it in a direct line right behind me, and they're going to be looking to go to either to the left or the right, and this is going to give you a lot of time to get autos down on the enemy champion while they're looking to dodge. This is a little bit lesser known, but I know a lot of people know about this. Just look to take a full advantage of the long time window you have with your E, again represented by that little yellow right there, and you just don't want to be the person that always goes like that, and it's really predictable when your E is coming down. Look to take advantage of the just kind of the increased threat you have when your second part of your E is ready to go. And that will wrap up tip number 3. Alright, and getting into tip 4, I just want to completely change your mindset about how you approach team fights when you are on Irelia. This is a very common situation where one team is looking to take advantage of their vision control over the Baron and bait in the other team. Now, what I want you to look at when you're Irelia is to take full advantage of your mobility and try and be as unexpected as possible when you are playing with her, because there is a rather large, a really loud sound cue when you throw out your ultimate, and it is a very telegraphed ability with quite a bit of windup. So how you want to reduce the time that they have to react is look to play Irelia a little bit more like a Vladimir or a Kennen, because she has a extremely high impact ult and it can be thrown from quite a good distance away. So always look for flanks in these types of situations, particularly if the front lines engage and they leave their back line open to just being dove. You'll really see a lot of just a higher effect on what you're able to do in team fights, because you aren't going to be bogged down. Say there's a fucking Nautilus or something in the mid lane, and then like a Leona is their support right there, and it's just really inhibiting your ability to get onto the back line. Sure, you can still land your ult on the back line, but it is going to be harder for them to dodge. So just make yourself as unpredictable as possible, and this will really pay a lot of dividends. I heavily encourage you, your next game, just try it out. Try and be more of a flanker as opposed to just running at people and just being extremely telegraphed in what you're trying to do. This is really well modified with just grabbing a sweeper and then grabbing some control wards, so you know that you aren't seen on the flank, and really just get a decent ult in the team fights. If you have any questions, again, with any of these tips, you can just hit me up in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to help you out. But this is going to be a really superior way of looking for fights in with Irelia, particularly if you're in the lower elos where people really don't respect Fog of War and they do not ward too much. This is just going to be a lot better way to play out just kind of the team fights that you're looking to do. So yeah, that will wrap up this tip with Irelia. Alright, and the final tip. Now, this is probably not going to be for the high elo 1 tricks, but I think this will help out a lot of people that are first looking to pick up the champion. When you have your Q, Blade Surge, and enough damage to one-shot backline minions, it gives you so much up mobility in the fight. So how I want you guys to look at what is going on in the 1v1. Say there's someone else there, right? Say, let's just put a target dummy there. You are at your absolute strongest when you have access to a minion wave. First up, you are able to dodge enemy abilities by using your Q out on minions, and second, you can use them offensively to go deeper into the lane and chase them further. So whenever you're looking to 1v1, try and look to fight in a minion wave. It will help you stack up your passive, and it will just make you a lot stronger of a champion. Vice versa, say someone picks your Irelia, try and fight them when the minion wave is not around, and I think this will be just kind of a really helpful tip to just kind of increase your overall power when Irelia is a little bit weaker in the early games. Say she hasn't gotten her Sheen or Triforce and it's just on a corrupting potion level 1, 2, and 3. Always look to fight when you have the added bonus of being able to dodge out. For 1, you're able to heal off your Q. For 2, and you're able to increase your stacks. By 3, you're able to get out of a poor situation, and by queuing to a minion for 4, I mean, there's just so many things you can do around the minion wave when you are playing Irelia. So always look to fight around that when you are in a 1v1 situation. That will wrap up my final tip for Irelia. I'd love to hear your guys' own tips or any kind of funky builds. I always like trying out funky builds on different champions, so you can hit me up with those as well. If you enjoyed the content, please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, guys, take it easy.